I have always been one of those people who was very enthusiastic that we should have a much more intensive dialogue between the EU and Turkey, because there's so many areas in which we need each other. And apart from that, we're not just strategic partners. Turkey is an accession country to the EU. So the European Parliament for the last 10 years has asked for crucial chapters to be opened. We know they were not open because of political reasons in the Council of where the member states are. So yes, I'm happy with the fact that they're open now, but of course, how we say it, it's like, for some countries, it felt like they had to go to the dentist, which means they know it's necessary, but they didn't like it. It's now the beginning of this new relationship is like a forced marriage, but I'm sure that love can come afterwards if we really show a commitment from both sides. This long process where for many also Turkish citizens, it seemed that the EU was not treating them fairly when it comes to criteria in Turkey. I think we have a new chance to prove that we need each other and we have to find ways of better cooperation. And I very much hope that this forced marriage can turn into a real love when we see that it's in the interest of the EU to reinvigorate this accession process. It's also in the interest of Turkey, and in the end it's also, that's the most important thing, in the interest of our citizens. So I hope with visa liberalization for Turkish citizens, this can be a concrete achievement of getting closer to the EU. And I hope also for Europe that finding concrete steps to tackle together the burden Turkey has been paying for over the last 4.5 years with refugees, that somehow our citizens see that it's in their interest that we have a better cooperation. And it's time that there are political solutions found for the long term. And for that, it's a clear recognition we need Turkey. And I think we showed that we both need each other. So in that respect, I think this summit was very important.
About the importance of opening new chapters, yes. Actually, because Turkey's point.
Well, it's clear that next week, Chapter 17, which deals with monetary affairs, will be opened. There's a clear decision, and the date has been set. Of course, for me and for the European Parliament, the core of the accession process is not energy, is not foreign affairs. The core of the accession process is a value-based issue. It's fundamental rights, it's rule of law. This is what the European Union is about. It's about sharing a value system, sharing fundamental rights for citizens. And as you know, this is one of the areas where there have been also most concerns from the European side. And I think if we really are genuine about our concerns, we should have the dialogue with Turkey, open these chapters. So for me, the priority is opening the chapters, especially because this really shows that Turkey is not just a strategic partner, it's a candidate country for membership. Yes, we agree, the process is the most important thing. When we come to the end, Turkey and Europe are different than they are today, but the process, I very much agree with what you have said. The process is just as important as the goal we are working towards. Many people have the idea that visa facilitation means that Turkish citizens have the right to go and work in Europe. And as the European Union has, of course, enlarged with 12 countries in the last 10 years, you saw a lot of labor force coming from Eastern Europe to Western Europe, like to the Netherlands. And you see immediately the fear of people saying, what does this mean? Does it mean that 80 million people are coming as a competition to our labor force? So it's very important, politicians, and I try to do that myself, explain what it is about. It's about the humiliation of people having to queue and pay for visa in order to enter the EU, to visit family, to go on holiday. It's a right I can enjoy on a daily basis within the European Union. We have lifted visa requirements for all the countries in the Balkans. And now I think it's also time that we have this opportunity for Turkish citizens, and I will always defend it. Of course, there is the condition, there are technical decisions, technical requirements which have to be met. If met, I don't think there can be any political blockage for this, and this has to materialize. Hopefully, a long-term investment. We cannot solve this crisis in 2 or 3 months. Everyone has to be realistic about it. You are already dealing with this for 4.5 years. And you see the situation in Syria. It's not going to disappear quickly. So let's finally there is the will. Europe for a very long time did not look to your situation because there was no problem for Europe. Now we are forced also to find a joint solution. This is an issue where we clearly need to cooperate. It's an international threat of Islamic State, of Daesh. This is something that no country can fight alone. And I think Turkey, of course, as also a NATO member, a candidate EU country, is a natural ally in this fight. And you yourself have experienced, I think, the most brutal terrorist attack in Turkish history very recently. That was the reason today I visited in Ankara the place where this attack happened. You are victims of Islamic State attacks, just as Europe has been a victim very recently, of course, in Paris. And it should be clear this is something we have to tackle jointly. The new government, under the leadership of the Prime Minister, will be announcing on Thursday a new package of reforms. And this will, of course, be very important also for the EU-Turkish accession process to see what type of reforms are they.